Hello, my name is April and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio and welcome to your practice. Our practice today is focused on those ever so exciting, no one likes to talk about, hamstrings. So as someone who I think was born with some of the shortest hamstrings out there, I completely understand what it's like to try to work with hamstrings that are really tense and tight and short. There is some idea out there that's floating around recently that I find to be somewhat true, is that sometimes a really tight, tense area might be an area that's slightly weak. And in our practices in yoga, we spend a huge amount of time trying to stretch our hamstrings and lengthen our hamstrings, but very little time focusing on strengthening the hamstrings. So we're looking at a balance here between strength and flexibility and providing a little bit more stability for this area as well. This is Lucy. She might help us. Kind of depends on her mood. So the only thing you're going to need for this practice is going to be a strap or belt. And what I'm going to have you do with your strap or belt is I'm going to have you tie it off. So this is what we call a D-ring clip. I like these because they're probably the easiest thing for me to use. You put it through the hole once, then come it back through, and you have your little tie off here. So you have a little circle. We're going to use that for our first few poses. So go ahead and come onto your back. Give yourself enough space where you don't run yourself into a wall. I find myself doing this quite often. And we're going to start with the knees bent, feet a little bit wider apart. Start with the breath. So bring yourself to your practice, settling yourself in. Bring awareness to your breath. Starting that 3-part breath, inhaling belly, chest, collarbones, exhaling collarbones, chest, belly, and feel how that begins to open the body up and release tension automatically just with the breath. Here, take a breath or two to set your intention for your practice. Perhaps that's to find more release in your hamstrings, which will ultimately be more release in your movement and mobility. Or maybe it's just to have a nice day, or to feel good, or to just experience a practice. Go ahead and open your eyes, hug that right knee into your chest. You can take your hand behind the knee or in front of it. Give it a nice squeeze. Feels good to kind of warm up these muscles that attach in that same area. So the top of our hamstring attaches into the bones. Walk your left leg out a little bit further. You're going to take your strap and wrap it around the ball of the foot right below the toes. Okay. Take that leg straight up toward the ceiling. You're going to start with your toes pointed and then you're going to flex them strongly. So a lot of people feel that they have hamstring tension. What it is a combination, or it might be calves. So it could be calves being super, super tight from standing a lot. Could be hamstrings. It could be combo of the two, prohibiting movement. And just give it a little pull. So the more you bring that heel up toward the ceiling, the more you'll be able to tell where it is for you. So even if you have worked really hard on your hamstrings, your calf muscles might still have a little bit of tightness in there. We're going to take about 5 to 8 breaths in each one of our poses. If you find you want to go ahead and stretch that left leg out, you can. So this is called the Supta Padangusthasana series. A wonderful set of 3 poses that if you practice every day, you will find some major advancement in the flexibility of your hamstrings and the movement. Take both ends of the strap into your right hand to your left hip to hold it in place, and take that right leg out to the right. So go only as far as you feel comfortable. You can kind of prop your elbow up there or not, or you can come all the way to the floor. Keep that same strong heel flexing toward that wall, and keep your toes pointed straight up on your left foot and flexing strongly as well. So if your knee is bent, you can press that foot into the floor. If it's not, you can press the heel into the floor. Keep some strength there and some engagement. I find this is one of my favorite little sets of 3 movements that really get into the legs and hips and hamstrings really well. They're ones you can do in bed, first thing in the morning. Inhale, come back up to center. Take both ends of the strap into the left hand. Right hand's gonna go to the hip crease and kind of press that hip away towards your toes. And you'll take that foot all the way over to the left. That may mean that you're gonna end up rolling to the outside of the left hip. Right hand's gonna go out to the right. You can turn and look over your shoulder for the full twist, or you can look straight up. Feel that outer hip on the right side drift toward the feet. Imagine you're standing in this pose. And then come back up to center. Take both ends of the strap in each hand, pull that foot just a little bit closer. Knee nice and straight. And then bend the knee. Bring that knee into your chest. Bend your opposite knee, you're gonna switch sides. So start with hugging that left knee and take that right foot out so it's nice and firmly on the floor. Give it a little squeeze here. Take your strap, wrap it around the ball of your left foot this time. Take it straight up. Here again, point to start with, then flex strongly. Notice if your calf feels more of this or your hamstring feels more of this. I feel like when you take that heel up a little higher, you start to really open up the entire back side of the leg, not just hamstrings. If you want, you can take that right leg out straight, heel to the floor. Nice deep breaths here. This would be a great time to start breathing Ujjayi breath, that kind of Darth Vader sound. Here again, take both ends of that strap into your left hand this time. Right hand to your right hip, left leg goes all the way out to the left. Keep the hip on the floor, keep your toes flexed on the right side and on the left side. Ujjayi breath here. This little set of 3 poses could basically take about 5 to 6 minutes. It's a great little mini practice. Inhale back up to center. Take both ends of that strap into the right hand, left hand to the hip, and press that hip away from you just a little bit. Take that leg all the way across into your twist to the outside edge of that right hip. Left hand goes out to the left. Keep the toes flexed. Remember, you're standing here, almost as if you're standing. Inhale back up to center. Both hands on the sides of the strap. Pull that foot in a little bit more. I remember the day I actually got my legs somewhat vertical. I was so excited. Bend that knee in, take your strap, put it off to the side. You won't need that again. Hug both knees into your chest. Go ahead and take your hands behind your knees and roll all the way up to a seat. Bound angle. So bring those feet in really close to your hips. You're going to grab hold of the big toes. Sit up nice and tall. Lengthen and then pull yourself forward. Inner leg, hamstring area as well. 3 more deep breaths. Think about allowing those knees to go down a little bit further, maybe even pressing those knees with your muscles toward the floor. Coming back up to center, bringing those knees together and coming on to hands and knees. So go ahead and take that right leg back behind you, flip the toes, walk it in just a little bit closer, lift that left knee off the floor and shift it towards you. So you're gonna stretch the back of that leg really strongly. Flexing the ankle. So your left knee is hovering above the floor. If that's not possible, you can bring the toes down or the knee down. Just put a little bit more weight in that right leg. Then you're going to switch legs. Lift and hover however far you can get off the floor. Shift back into that Calf and ankle on the left side, nice big stretch for the leg. Come back down, shift back to downward facing dog. So on an inhale, take that right leg straight up and back. Exhale, take it to the outside of the right hand. Stay up on your fingertips, and you're going to keep that foot flat. So often in lizard, we kind of roll that leg out. We're not looking to stretch the inside of the leg here in this position. If you're comfortable, you can bring the palms flat. We're going to keep that knee in alignment with the shoulder. Back leg strong. So this is a nice strengthener for the back of the hamstring, front of the leg here as well. 2 more deep breaths. Don't worry, we won't be here forever. I know this is not a lot of people's favorite pose. Be strong in that back leg, palms flat. Step back to downward facing dog. Building a little strength and stability in the hamstrings. Inhale, take that left leg straight up and back. Exhale, sweep it to the outside of the left hand. Here again, we're gonna keep that foot flat, toes pointing straight forward. You can be up on the fingertips or down on the palms. Keep that left knee pointing straight up toward the ceiling. Stretch back through that right leg. Really flex the toes. Find strength. If you are comfortable, you can come down onto your forearms, but keep that strength in the back leg and the front leg. Just one more deep breath. Press into the palms, shift back to downward facing dog. Yay, right? On an inhale, bend your knees, look up at your hands, walk your feet up towards your hands. Take your feet as far apart as you feel comfortable. Inhale, halfway up, half lift. Exhale, fold. Now if you need to bend your knees a little bit here, that's okay. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. And then bend your knees a little bit. Inhale, sweep hands all the way up to the top, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. So we're gonna do 3 little half sun salutations to kind of open the body up a little bit more. Inhale, sweep hands up. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins or to the floor. Exhale, fold. See if you can begin to start to straighten those knees out. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart. Working our way into it. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one. Inhale, sweep up. Nice and tall. Engage the core. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the top. And exhale, hands to heart. Take that right leg, cross it behind your left. Hands to your heart. Go ahead and fold forward. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe you grab your ankles and pull yourself a little bit closer. Maybe this is where you're at, right? Could be you're further up here. That's okay. With hamstrings, you learn a lot of patience. I think probably having children taught me a lot of patience, but my hamstrings may have taught me more. Don't tell my kids I said that. Take your hands to your hips, come all the way back up. Switch the crossing. Right in front of left. Fold forward. Here again, use whatever you can, however you want. Poor little hamstrings had no idea they were set up for this today. Shake your head out, yes and no. Hands to your hips, come all the way up to the top. Unwind, shake it out. Always need a good shakeout, right? Inhale, sweep hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fingertips down, step that right leg back. Drop your right knee. You're gonna keep your fingertips on the floor and you're gonna rock forward just a little bit and then exhale back. Half Hanumanasana, half monkey pose. Inhale, rock forward. Nice slow movement, lift the head. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. And on this one, we're gonna lift up just a little bit, flex the toes, and then fold a little bit deeply. More deeply, I guess. Is more deeply a phrase? This is when you really recognize where your hamstrings are at in this pose. Rock forward, palms down, step back into plank, lower knees down, come all the way down to the floor. Keep your palms where they're at, take the elbows up toward the ceiling, shoulders back. You're gonna inhale, lift that left leg off the floor, point the toes, but you're gonna keep the hip point on the floor. Kind of a modified locust pose. Reach out and lift. Press the right foot into the floor, left foot lifts up. A lot of people don't realize that your hamstrings are so interconnected with your lower back that some lower back pain could be hamstring related. Drop that leg down. Take a nice deep breath. Lift back up, change sides. Right leg up. Hip point is on the floor, so you're not lifting up here. We're kind of keeping it focused. Elbows back, head lifts. Top of the left foot pressing into the floor to give you a little more stability. If you're shaking, that's perfectly normal, so am I. Exhale all the way down. Press back into plank and back into downward facing dog. On an inhale, bend your knees, look up at your hands, tiptoe hop or walk up to the top of the mat. Come up halfway, hands to shins or to the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Other side. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fingertips down. Step that left leg back this time. Drop the knee. Fingertips down, inhale, lift. Exhale, rock back. Half monkey pose. Inhale, forward, nice and slow. Exhale, back. All right. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. This time you're going to lift, flex your toes, and fold a little bit deeper. Go ahead and rock forward. Palms down, step back to plank, lower the knees, come all the way down to the floor. Staying right where we're at. Same thing, we're gonna change it up a little bit. Shoulders back, lift the head. You're gonna take that left foot off the floor, you're gonna flex the toes and bend the knee until you feel the hamstring engage. You'll know when it hits. You can go up really far or back a little bit. Press that foot up toward the ceiling, hip point still on the floor. Drop that foot down, rest your forehead down. Inhale, same thing here. Take that right foot off, flex the toes, find where that hamstring engages, back of the leg. Building strength in the hamstrings, stability, and mobility all at once. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, press up to kneeling plank. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Walk your dog a little bit short. And see if you can bring your heels down. So this may feel really awkward in your upper body, that's okay. We're stretching the hamstrings, the back of the legs. Spread your toes wide. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Shake your head out, yes and no. And then inhale, sweep hands all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart. Continuing to build here. Inhale, sweep hands up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fingertips down. Step that right leg back. Come into your runner's lunge here. So fingertips down to the floor. Walk your feet nice and wide. Give yourself space here. You're going to inhale, lengthen, just like we did in Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, rock back into a pyramid. So if your knee doesn't straighten all the way or your fingers are like mine, I have kind of short arms, do the best that you can here. Inhale, rock forward. And exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. You're going to walk your hands around. You're in a wide forward fold. So take your feet nice and wide. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe walking your hands in between, folding a little bit more deeply. Shake your head out, yes and no. And fingertips underneath. You're going to lift up just a little ways. Turn your right foot out to the right, left foot back behind you, into your runner's lunge, and you've just turned yourself around. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rock back. This leg is a little bit less willing. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Once again, turn yourself to the long edge of the mat. So we're going to play with this a little bit. Walk the feet in a little bit closer. Turn the toes out a little bit. And bend that right knee. Take that left toe up toward the ceiling. Kind of come down into Skandasana. Inhale, back to center. We're going to switch sides. Exhale. Toes up on the right side. Knee bent on the left. Inhale, over to the other side. Back up. Inhale, over to the other side here. Just one more on each side. Finding a little opening here. Kind of like this pose just for that nice deep hamstring stretch, but it's kind because it's kind of mobile movement here. Inhale, lift halfway. Start to walk your hands over to the other side, palms flat, step back into plank. Here you can lower all the way down or down from your knees, come all the way down to the floor. Palms alongside the hips, palms facing down. Inhale, lift up locust pose. Shoulders back, hips planted, feet lifted. Reach those toes out away from the crown of your head. Exhale, palms down. Come back, turn your feet around and come into a seat. So get everything out of the way back there. You're going to bring that right foot into the inner left leg. I like to shift my left leg forward just a little bit for this pose. Now, if you have any issues with some pain in your SI joint or lower back, go ahead and fold down more toward an angle. If you don't and you enjoy the twist, you can start to fold yourself forward, reach that right hand to the outside of that foot and stretch out. I kind of go midway because I have a little bit of an issue with my sacroiliac joint. Lift up and lengthen, fold forward. Now I like to hang onto the bottom of my foot for a number of reasons. If that's not reachable, you can take your strap, wrap it around the bottom of the foot. This is going to help flex. Remember at the very start, flexing that helped really stretch the whole backside of the leg. And I'm always about getting as much as I can out of this pose. Don't worry if your nose never reaches your knees. There's nothing exciting there, or the floor. You can look out past your toes. Inhale, come back up. Take that right foot to the inside, bend the knee. Do a little twist here. Take that right hand behind you, left toes are flexed. Hook onto that right knee and twist to the right. So keep stretching that left leg out, spreading the toes, as if you were standing in this pose. Really active leg. Come back to center, unwind, little counter twist here. The spine likes the counter poses, right? Come back to center, take those legs out in front of you. Switch. Bring that left foot to the inside of the right thigh. You can shift that right foot out a little bit. I twist from the hips, so that helps me feel a little bit more comfortable in my hips. Sit up nice and tall, start to fold forward. Here, once again, you can add that twist in if your SI joint or the lower back is fine. If not, just take the hand or the strap to the foot, pull forward. You can fold a little bit more toward the middle, which will get less compression on the lower back, or somewhere in between. So go where things don't hurt, but where you feel some engagement. Lift up nice and tall, then fold a little bit deeper. Remember, you're actively pressing this knee into the floor, the foot into the thigh, and the right foot is actively pressing into the floor. This pose should be challenging, right? Inhale, come all the way up. Bring that left knee up, foot flat. Take that left arm around behind you. Hang on to that left knee however you want. Press that right foot as if you're standing on it and twist. Exhale back to center, counter twist to the other side. We're ready to come all the way back down onto our backs. Come all the way down. We're going to take a little bit of kind of a core look at the core, but also this works with the hamstrings. So hands alongside the hips. Take the feet up toward the ceiling. They don't have to be perfectly straight, but flex your toes as if you're standing on the ceiling. We're going to be here for about a minute. A minute goes by faster than you think, really. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath. Feel your core pulling back instead of pressing out. You want to feel it tucking in and engaging, cinching up. And bend your knees, bring them into your chest. Maybe circle around to the left and right a few times. Hug them in. And then take those legs out. We're going to take a little crossover here. So take that left leg out. Bring that right knee in. You're going to take your left hand to the outside of the right knee and twist it over toward the left. You can turn and look over your right fingertips. Come back to center. Hug that knee in. We're going to switch sides. Take that left arm out. Left knee in, right hand goes to the outside. Twist to the right. Kind of like we did at the beginning, except without the strap. Come back to center, hug that knee into your chest. And go ahead and take your legs out for Savasana. So heels out to the corners of the mat. Flex the toes, then drop those heels down. Let the toes fall in or out, whatever feels most comfortable for your hips. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath. Arms out to the side alongside the hips, palms facing up. Lift your head, look at your toes, and then slowly lower it back down, helping lengthen the cervical spine. Here, come back to your 3-part breath, really sensing it. Become aware of your hamstrings in the back of your legs. Think about it as that whole area between your heel all the way to somewhere in the center of your bum. All of this is attached in so many different ways. We've just worked to lengthen all of this and to strengthen it. Remember that hamstrings take a great deal of patience and time and breath. If you have more time to spend in Savasana, I invite you to spend as much time as you possibly can. But if this is your limit, go ahead and rock your head side to side a few times. Take your heels together, point your toes, take your arms up overhead, stretch through your fingertips, lengthen. And then exhale, bend your knees, roll over to your right side. Take a couple of breaths here on your right side. And then press yourself up into whatever seated position you like best, keeping your eyes closed or open. Hands palms up or palms down into your lap or on your knees. Returning to your intention for your practice. Bring it into your day, off the mat, into your world. Lengthen up through the spine. On your exhale, drop the fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up overhead. Open your eyes, look up at your palms. Exhale, hands to heart. Peace and namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I hope your hamstrings feel a lot better. Keep in mind, you can do this full practice, or you can do those first few moments, like the first 7 or 8 minutes of the practice with that, what I call the Supine series. That set of 3 poses on both sides is really helpful, using it in bed, at night before you go to sleep, when you first wake up, to really open up this space. That's actually what I used for 2 years every single day, and it has had major effects on my hamstrings, so much so that I actually feel it's not really my hamstrings anymore, it's my calves now. So working with what you can. I hope this helped. If you liked this practice, please like and comment down below. If you are not a subscriber, join us each Thursday for a new video every single Thursday like this, or yin, restorative, or meditation, or a variety of other things. You can click that subscribe button down here to your right. If you would like to deepen your practice and join me for more practices, you can join me on my member site. The link is up above and down below, or you can just go to theyogaranger.vhx.tv. There's a 7-day free trial period. We have exclusive videos up there every single week, a live community forum, a Facebook forum. We also have some little extras up on there as well, and a live call each month. And I hope to see you. Would love to have you join us there as well. So I hope to see you again soon, either here on YouTube or there at VHX. Have a great week.